So this Charmander clock thingy is worth like $40 to $80, depending on condition, I suppose. And these are super rare, apparently. But we didn't figure out where it was from? No. But I found this in like a little box of like old stuff from my childhood. Anyway, you're listening to episode 33 of the Heycast, the number one gaming podcast in our hearts. I'm Timothy. I'm here with Giacomo. I'm here with Spencer.
Hello.
We're just chilling, you know.
I drink a lot of water.
Chilling like, you know, the friends that we are.
How old does something have to be for it to be considered vintage?
I don't know.
20 years.
20 years?
Yeah. So our stuff is getting vintage now.
I do have like I have like a few Beanie Babies. You know that little closet thingy that I have like at the front door
where you run away when you're getting beat.
What?
Where you run to when you're getting beat?
that shelf display cabinet thing that I have by the front door. So we have a couple Beanie Babies in there that are worth like a couple $100, and some other stuff that we got a lot of. Weird collectibles that are worth a decent amount of money that we just found. Going through like all our old stuff from when we were like doing like garage sales and stuff. We were like getting rid of some old stuff.
Huh.
Yeah, and we found like some stuff that's actually worth something.
Did you sell it?
No, we haven't sold them. So I have like this Toy Story thing too that's also apparently worth a decent amount of money.
The general rule to remember is something antique is also vintage, but something that is vintage is not necessarily antique. Vintage refers to something that is from an earlier generation. Antique refers to something that is over 100 years old.
But not less than 20.
You'll never see this become an antique.
What?
This Charmander.
Oh, really?
Because you'll die.
Yeah, you'll die before you become it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'll be dead before it becomes an antique.
But it's okay.
Okay. What?
Thanks for your reassurance.
All right.
Hey, Timothy, I want you to know something.
What?
Although you might have certain things you do in your life and you might achieve great things, you are going to die.
Yeah, aren't we all?
I'm going to die, and Spencer's especially going to die.
But like, if
he's going to die gruesomely.
But here's the thing: if we become famous, we'll live on in everybody's memories. And
but we're still going to die. Elvis is dead.
Yeah,
I just want you to know that.
Yeah, he is dead.
If you think about Abraham Lincoln, is that a antique memory, antique thought?
Maybe, I don't know.
He's dead.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
but
does it make you sad?
Actually, you know what? I don't think Elvis is dead. He's still living on that island over someplace, you know, with all the other dead people, like
Walt Disney.
Yeah, like Walt Disney.
No, he might actually be dead.
Steve Jobs.
Like Tupac.
Shakur.
Biggie Smalls.
Mm-hmm. All those people.
They're Timothy.
They're live on that island, you know, just relaxing.
Is it the island from Die Another Day?
Or from Lost?
I don't know. I don't know specifics.
Because that's where they like change them into other people.
I don't know specifics. I do know that they're chilling and maxing and relaxing, all cool.
Wait, Die Another Day, was that the James Bond one, or was that?
Yeah, and they go to they turn the
faces.
They turn the Korean people into white people.
Yeah.
What is this?
Die Another Day.
The James Bond movie, Die Another Day.
Have you not seen it?
I don't think I watched that one.
It's been a while. We should rewatch it.
It has been a while since I watched any James Bond thing.
They're pretty good. The new James Bond is a woman, right?
What?
Isn't it? The new James Bond is a woman?
No.
I thought it was. My bad.
Where'd you hear that from?
The internet. So I wanted to confirm it with you guys.
I don't know about it. I think I might have heard something about that, actually.
Let's look this up.
Is the new James Bond a woman?
It's not. That defeats the purpose of James Bond. He's a
cool guy.
You know, he's a chauvinistic pig.
It's true.
Hey, he has a lot of sex.
So, according to it, she's the person who is doing it, Lashana Lynch, isn't the new James Bond, but she is the new 007. Which makes a lot more sense, because the 007 is just, you know, like the agent number.
She's not going to be James.
But I also had heard this other theory that James Bond is just the code name. That's why everyone can kind of change and be a different looking person.
Uh-huh.
Which would then make sense if you're a guy. But okay, you know, I'll still look at it and see a new 007 movie. We have to refer them to 007 movies now. They're no longer James Bond films.
I don't believe it.
Sorry.
I don't.
It's 2019.
I won't
Spencer,
believe it till I see it.
You cis scum.
Yeah.
Did you guys do anything cool recently?
Hey, Timothy, are you
Fuck no.
excited for? Hang on, I gotta pull up the entire list here.
Am I excited for
All these new movies.
Are you excited for
Dora the Explorer?
Blade? The Fantastic Four, Black Panther 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Captain Marvel 2, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor and Love and Thunder. Where's the... Hang on, there's another list here. Shoot. Are you excited for those so far?
Yeah, sure.
Phase 4.
Yeah, where's Phase 4? I had it on here.
Did you like anything at San Diego
heck.
Comic-Con?
I didn't watch anything.
I didn't watch anything either. Did you guys see the Cats trailer?
It's pretty bizarre.
It's fucking terrifying.
Is there Rule 34 on cats stuff yet?
There has always been.
There's Rule 34.
No, but I mean like specifically like Taylor Swift
as a cat.
As a cat. You know, I feel like that's
probably it probably happened already, but no, but because everybody is so terrified, there's probably not a lot of it. There's probably some, but not a lot. It is very scary though. It is really unsettling looking, and like the size of them feels like off too in comparison to the background. Did you find some
memes?
Some Rule 34 of the cats?
No, I looked at memes.
Black Widow and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Eternals and Shang-Chi, The Legend of Ten Rings and WandaVision.
Are these all movies that are coming out
for Marvel?
And Loki and What If and Hawkeye and
Thor.
Some of those are on the Disney streaming thing.
Yeah.
But are you excited for all 50 of those?
I'm excited for some of them.
Disney things. Did you see that they actually broke the record now as the highest grossing movie of all time?
Now think of it this way though, because they released it twice. The first time, and then they did it
cheated,
again.
but they're still.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because Disney beat Disney.
Fair.
So.
Did they even win?
Semantics, but they officially did it.
Thank you, Endgame.
Thanks,
cool.
Endgame. Thanks, Marvel, for all your hard work
and everything you've done. Shit, I don't know which button to push.
Pick a good one. No, that sucked.
That was pretty ass.
I can barely see the lights right here.
That's more of like a reversing back to like something.
Did you say ass?
Fuck me my ass, man.
See?
Anyway, did you guys do anything fun or cool or interesting?
What video games did you play this week? Because I know that's all you do.
I played a cool game recently called Dusk.
An Elysian Tale?
No, just Dusk.
Oh, Dusk. Oh, is that that's the Doom?
It's like Quake.
Yeah, Quake.
Yep, I played through all of it and beat it, and it was very good. And
yeah, we played that on our channel a while back.
Did you?
It's pretty cool.
I like it a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Bought some new Switch games that I haven't played yet.
And you didn't buy Mario Maker?
No, because I bought them from the Mexican eShop.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you buy stuff from like the random eShops and stuff because
Is it because
of
it's cheaper?
discounts.
Yeah, like I bought Stardew Valley. And
Did you get it for like $1 and then change the language to English?
Well, no. So you just like change your region on the website. So it went from $15 to like $7.
Wow, holy shit!
It's a little eShop hack for you guys that don't know about it.
Life hacks.
Mm-hmm. These are real life hacks, like none of like that shitty stuff like you see on those life hack channels.
Exactly.
Right, where they take like a CD, cut it in half, and then it's a holster.
Put a piece of packaging tape on your shoe so that it doesn't fall off because you don't have like a top part of your shoe.
Yeah,
but it's like still clear, but you could still see the shine.
Sure.
What? Yeah. It's a thing. I saw it in one of Critical's videos when he was talking about those life hack channels. That
sounds really stupid.
There's a lot of really stupid ones.
I remember watching that video, though.
I think it's all just trolling at this point, I think.
There are some really, really stupid ones that are like...
Yeah.
Like it's so much effort to make this or whatever.
On Reddit, you can go to like the life hacks, whatever. Or no, it was DIY.
On the DIY subreddit?
It's DI, but then literally like...
Oh, why?
DIY.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting... I didn't know about that subreddit.
Well, I think my favorite subreddit that I discovered was crappy mobile ads, crappy mobile game ads.
Uh-huh.
Those are pretty good. Like those ones from, what was that one game, like Adventure or something? I can't remember. And it's just like, what do you do? walk out the room or go for it anyways.
Yeah. The ones you're sending me.
Kill yourself or something.
There's a rat stuck in my vagina. Do I come or like whatever it was, or like
I want to
clench harder? I think the one you sent me.
I want to find one that yeah. Okay, here's one. Damn it! I shouldn't have put this rat in my vagina. The choice is squeeze harder, come.
Oh my god!
And then another one. I gotta pee. Find a cup. Divorce.
There goes my my foam in the back.
Divorce.
My acoustic foam just kind of dropped.
It did fall.
There.
Yeah, you could switch over to my camera. You could see. You could see it right there. It's
wow. How embarrassing.
That's sad. I'll fix it after the podcast. You guys are just gonna have to deal with it. It's gonna look funny.
Do you like this?
Oh my god, that looks like a sphincter.
Do you like it?
I don't,
because he sent it to me.
What have you done?
What have I done?
Week.
I've been sick for the past couple of weeks, and that's kind of why we haven't been uploading any videos recently.
Yeah.
Just really quickly, just addressing that. Sorry about that. I have been sick for the past 2 weeks with, I think I had strep throat. I'm not 100% sure, though. I didn't go to a doctor. So I'm still coughing a little bit, but not as bad as I was. But yeah, when I'm sick, we can't make videos, so.
Because you'll be like going,
yep.
In the microphone.
Yeah, and we also record everything here at my house.
Like Kai.
Yeah, like Kai.
The audience doesn't know that.
Kai is a guy
unless they watched our doodle date video.
That's true.
If you guys watched our doodle date video, you'll know about our friend
Look at
Kai.
that shameless plug.
The lore.
Okay, so I've been recently... When I get sick, I tend to watch a lot of horror stuff. It's kind of a weird habit of mine.
Okay, that's your remedy.
Yeah, I guess so. Like I just tend to watch ghost videos. You know, like ghost hunters and stuff like that was a thing back in the day, or like ghost adventures and shit.
I remember
and
that.
I'll watch like horror movies. Recently, I started getting into like these YouTube channels like Nightmare Expo, although he goes by Nexpo now.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, I've seen Nexpo. Yeah,
Nexpo's pretty cool. There's
what does he do?
He does like videos on like internet, mostly internet stuff.
Yeah, a lot of like internet
YouTube channels, weird stuff on the internet, and then like some like some horror stories and creepypastas and stuff like that. Same thing with Scare Theater and Rainbot. They do some really similar stuff too. And I was watching those channels too.
I don't know. I haven't heard any of these.
I've literally heard of all of those.
You've heard of all of them
because I've watched them.
they're all really cool channels. And then recently I started watching Wang.
Oh,
also.
Wang is great.
Yeah.
Nope.
you don't know about him either.
Go fuck yourself.
Wang recently had to deal with some demonetization with it because of his name, even though his name is Justin Wang, right?
Yeah, it's his last name.
Yeah, Wang is his last name. He's Asian, so it's like discrimination against Asian last names.
Your last name
Wang.
is fuck with a PH. PHUK.
I know. What's his name? Rob Dyke was also having issues with that.
I was gonna say, what is the white bad word name? And Dyke is the word.
Yeah, Rob Dyke had that issue also, and he ended up changing his like legally changing his name to Rob Gavigan because he didn't want to deal with that anymore because people were giving him funny looks, I guess, in real life too.
Why? His last name's fucking Dyke. He didn't choose it.
Yeah, but it still doesn't particularly look good to have that last name, which is
Dick
fucked
Van
up. And
Dyke.
It's fucked up. I get it.
Yeah, that is.
His name is Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah,
and different time.
Dick and Dykes.
That's right. That's what I mean.
Who thought it? Who came up with the idea of people named Richard like having the nickname Dick?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like so.
It's fucking dying.
Excuse me, but yeah, it's like the spectrum is like it's so different that it's just I just think it's kind of really weird that would
like
happen.
William and Bill.
At least that has Will and Bill.
Yeah, and we got
Richard
Robert and Bob.
Richard is Dick.
Yeah, it's so like where do you get that?
Someone was like, "We're gonna nickname this Richard guy. Yeah, what is he like? He's a dick." And then there you go. They call him Dick from that point on, you know? Or maybe he pulled out his dick too much. I don't know.
I feel bad for all the people named Richard.
Why? Because they're dicks?
A lot of them are switching over to Rich instead of Dick. Yeah. Like what was his name? Rich Brian? I don't know.
Could you, like 2019, bring back the Dick and Rich shirt?
Anyway, what else did I do? Oh, I played some Mario Maker earlier.
Are you good at it?
No, I suck. Arnold also sucks.
Why aren't you good at Mario?
I don't know.
Didn't you play Mario growing up?
Mostly 64 and Paper Mario. I didn't really like play a lot of the classic Marios. I did play them, but I was never particularly good at them. And
Do you like them?
They're cool. I enjoy them.
Okay.
I don't hate them.
I really want to get it. It looks a lot of fun, and I want to make my maps.
I mean, Mario Maker's cool. It's fun to like play like a bunch of random maps and see what people come up with.
Yeah, exactly.
People make some interesting maps.
There's some good ones, man.
Yeah. So we were trying to play a friend of ours' his map, and we couldn't get past like the first section, which goes to show how bad we are at the game. And so yeah, we're still trying to beat it. It's really difficult for us.
Do you think they'll beat it?
Good luck, man.
Are you guys good at Mario?
I'm pretty good at Mario. I played it. It was the first video game I played. I played the
I expect
Super Mario Brothers on the Super NES,
yeah.
And that was the first video game I ever played. And I got really good at it.
If Mario is the first game you ever played, that means you're good at it, because whatever the first game you play is, that means you're
you
good
kind
at
of hone in on it, you know?
I expect Spencer to be pretty decent. He plays like a lot of platformers and roguelikes and stuff.
Yeah,
probably okay.
You'd probably be pretty good at it.
Yeah, so.
I think Timothy would be good at like any fighting game, because you probably were born with a fighting stick in your hand or something.
What was my very first game that I played? I don't even know.
He doesn't remember his first time. It wasn't special enough. He was born into the era where there was too many games, and he could afford all of them.
What a youngin'.
I think my first was actually Pokemon.
Oh, it's a good game.
I think it was like Pokemon Red. I think that was my first one. Either that or Yellow.
Do you want to play Pokemon Red on my watch?
I'm good.
Do you want to watch a movie on his watch?
It doesn't playing games on your watch doesn't seem particularly what's the word? Convenient. Seems like it would be a difficult thing to do. You got to switch to my camera.
Yeah, that's right.
You can barely see anything.
Wait.
I'm trying to.
We saw
Pokemon. Yes, you can play Pokemon on your watch, but and it's not a particularly pleasant experience. It looks
they should
very
have
difficult.
Pokemon
on your phone.
No, they should have Pokemon fitness on Apple Watches and stuff like that. That'd be good.
That'd be cool.
I mean,
Pokemon Go on your
Nintendo
watch.
has been working with them, but remember, it's Nintendo and Game Freak.
Yeah,
that have to be like, yeah, we're cool with it.
Speaking of Pokemon, people are still upset about the whole Sword and Shield thing, and people are finding new ways to get mad at them. There was this fan made Chinese Pokemon game on the phones that people were referencing because it had better animations and stuff, but it turns out those animations were all stolen from Pokemon Coliseum on the Wii, and all the models and everything were stolen too. So it's not like they actually made any of it themselves,
right?
And it also still had the same issue of it wasn't all the Pokemon.
Huh.
So people are referencing that as a thing, but it's kind of a moot argument, you know? So I just thought that was kind of interesting.
People be mad as long as they want to be mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't have a fan base without haters.
True.
Do you want to talk about kids emptying their parents' bank accounts for?
That was almost smooth.
Let's talk about kids emptying their parents' bank accounts. A while back, the first one that we were kind of hearing of was FIFA. How much did they?
Oh, your feed is broken.
Oh no! This is shaping up to be a really good episode of the podcast, guys.
We haven't done it in a while. We're just a little rough.
All right. Okay. So now that we fixed this whole display issue, kids have these games and they're spending their parents' money and the companies they're blaming parental controls. You should be watching what your kids are playing, but these are rated E games and you shouldn't have to monitor everything that they're doing with a rated E game. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to monitor the money part.
Yeah, but here's the kind of concern about it is that it should be more you're still dealing with gambling mechanics and all that stuff inside a game like this, and typically rated E games the idea is that you're not most people aren't thinking about like
adult situations
of having to spend money and all that stuff and watching their wallets and everything. And a lot of these kids, they'll see this stuff and they won't be aware that, oh, I'm spending real money on these things, and then they end up emptying their parents' wallets and stuff, and then they can't do anything about it.
True.
So how, with FIFA, how much? Oh, my mouse is acting up again. My mouse. Come on. Pissing me off.
The one thing that I read that someone said is that when it comes to like gambling in a casino and stuff like that, they have people that come in and audit like the machines and all that stuff in terms of like probability of winning and stuff like that, so that they're not just like robbing you of your money and you can't win.
Right.
But these aren't audited like that. They aren't monitored like that. Yeah. So essentially you can just spend all the money that you want in the world and you may never get what you want or something.
Yeah. And the other thing is like with casinos, you have people that are watching to see like who's actually doing the gambling stuff. But like here you don't have people like watching and stopping people if you're like underage and everything. But like they're saying that it's not gambling, it's surprise mechanics.
Yeah, so, obviously they say that just because they want their money.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to be like, you know what, you're right. We're just going to shut down. Bye.
There goes my mouse again. There we go. But this was like kind of like the first like one that was kind of getting people's eyes.
Sure.
I mean, we had like those concerns with mobile games in the past also, of kids like spending all their money. Yeah. With those, and then there was like the whole South Park episode about it too.
That's what I think,
and that brought more attention to it. But recently, the BBC, they got like a bunch of testimonies from parents that all had like the same issue, and like it's a pretty common concern.
It really sucks for the parents because they probably can't get any of that money back.
They can't. No, like
because it's already been paid for. Yeah,
like they're not going to give you that money back. But this one's a little egregious. He spent like 3,100 euros, so that's like around $3,000, isn't it? A little bit less than 3,000 US dollars, right? I don't know what the conversion rate is, but this is on a game. This is like a point and click, I guess adventure
artifacts
type game.
I think I've downloaded this at one point.
This doesn't look like the type of game that would have microtransactions, and then there are.
Well, it's because you have to pay for. My guess is you have to pay for like the clicks to try to think if it's a hidden thing,
right?
So then you just pay for the clicks.
I guess. Let's see. Let's see what it says. I have a 20. Oh, okay. So this one was like a little bit different too because he was like an older disabled person. But I have a 22-year-old disabled son who has cerebral palsy, complex epilepsy, autism, learning difficulties, and the approximate cognitive ability of a 7-year-old child. He is unable to do any bilateral activities, so relies heavily on his iPad and PlayStation for entertainment and educational activities. He has recently been playing a game on his iPad called Hidden Artifacts, which involves finding various items and matching them to the description. He has been charged 3,160 euros and 58. I don't know what cents is in euros, but I guess it's just cents also. Between February 18th and 30th of May, clearing out his entire savings. I contacted iTunes, who were extremely helpful, but were unable to refund the amount, and suggested I contact Blastworks Ltd., the app developer and game provider. Apple users in the EU can request to cancel an order within 14 days of purchase. I have phoned and emailed several times, but have had no response. It is extremely distressing that vulnerable people such as my son become victims of what is thought to be an educational game. I've tried tirelessly to recoup his life savings, but constantly come up against a brick wall. And that's a little bit crazy too, because it's an educational game. It's supposed to be an educational game.
Right.
And again, normally people wouldn't expect an educational game like that to have microtransactions, especially to that extent. Obviously, there's the sports games, 2,000 euros here. Clash of Clans is a common one. Most of these have been like mobile stuff, but a lot of like console
on
and
Fortnite,
like PC games and stuff. They're starting to get to that level that we saw in mobile games originally. And it's becoming an increasingly bigger problem. But yeah, I think with something like this, not being able to get it back is like the biggest problem. If it becomes a problem,
once you buy it, you want it. So
yeah, there might need to be like some sort of like regulation or something that like says like, hey, within a certain amount of time, you can get these things refunded with these games, because that is the biggest concern, is that you can't get it back once that it has been spent. And there's like not a lot of ways to prevent it from happening.
Right.
So,
It's really scummy.
Yeah.
It's a really scummy practice. They're obviously taking advantage of loopholes and stuff and regulations that haven't been invented yet, you know?
Right. So we're the first ones to get it. We're going to set precedents for what you can, you know.
It's unfortunate that these people have to like suffer in order for something to happen. You know?
And it's been a while. Like this has been happening for a while.
Yeah,
since,
that South Park episode came out like
several years ago. So it's been a cool minute for it. And still nothing. There's nothing. The next thing is Google Stadia. We talked about this a little bit in the past when they initially revealed the sort of business model that they were going with Google Stadia. A lot of people, when it was originally announced, people thought it was going to be like a Netflix type of service, but with games. But it was revealed that that wasn't the case.
No, it was very different from what I had originally intended it or hoped it would have been.
It is more like Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus. You still have...
Timothy, are you okay?
It's the fact that I'm like talking a lot that's causing me the coughing. If I'm just chilling, it's not going to happen, but you know.
He's fine.
We're worried about you.
I'm concerned.
I'm probably going to die. I have a...
Remember, everyone's going to die.
Yeah, that's true.
Can I have your Charmander clock if you die?
It's worth $40.
You want that and none of my other stuff, like my computer?
It's worth $40 to $80.
So you want the $40 to $80 thing versus a couple grand computer.
That's going to devalue. This is only going to go up.
It's true.
But like it's been this long and it's only gone to about $80. So how long is it going to be for?
I'll pass it down generations
to generation
until it is authentically an antique.
Let me ask you this: how much did you pay for your computer, and how much is it probably worth now?
Paid about $1,800, $1,900. I don't know how much it's worth right now.
Less. Would you agree it's less?
Maybe like $1,000. $800 off.
Would you agree it's less, Timothy?
Yeah.
How much did your parents pay for that Charmander clock?
I don't know.
Take a ballpark guess.
$15.
Probably like one kid's meal at a Burger King or something.
And now it's worth $80.
It's worth $80.
Yeah, I don't know where it's from.
Well, nonetheless, yeah, like 15 to 80, even 15 to 40. Do you see how that like looks better than down?
No, I get that, but
long-term investment.
This is like immediate investment, and this like you're probably not going to be experiencing the investment. It's going to be like your grandchildren.
I'm going to get it restored. I'm just thinking ahead, man. You know, when we're all living in bunkers underground,
there's going to be the Pokemon traders,
the global warming and stuff. This is going to be a hot item. It's going to remind people of the good old days, the times before
the war,
and the overflowing
the
sea,
Great Democracy Separation Wars,
the boiling oceans. You're going to have Charmander here.
Right. Okay.
A relic of times past.
I guess.
So I can have your Charmander when you die?
Sure.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about Stadia. I don't really like it.
I don't really either.
I'm a little more against it now that I got more details.
Yeah.
That's what it threw me off.
The main concern is the fact that everything is on the cloud, and you still have to pay full price for a game rather than the Netflix service that we were expecting, and you don't even really fully own the game because you don't have the ability to download it download it locally to your computer or anything like that. So if let's say their cloud service goes up in flames or something, the stuff that you paid for is gone.
See, I wouldn't have so much of a problem if you didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't mind cloud streaming it. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
It's cool. It's that part kills me that you have to buy it. Because then why wouldn't I just buy this on Steam?
Right. And the idea is that this is supposed to be so people on lower spec computers and stuff and like and with like their Chromecast Ultra or whatever, they can stream it that way. And which I get. But the problem again is that you don't own anything, even though you paid full price for all that stuff, really.
Yeah.
You paid full price to get access to be able to play it.
You're buying it for the same cost as everywhere else, but you're getting even less.
Yes, exactly.
You know, in terms of like I could pay, well, not so much these days, but you know, $60 to get a box copy, which used to include a game in it, but now it's just a code. But let's just pretend for this You would still get for the sake of it. You get that. You can pay $60 on Steam, and you get a license for the game. But at least you technically own it, right?
Yes,
you can install it on your device.
You install it locally on your device and everything.
But now, even less, you pay $60, and you get to stream it from Google's computer. Right? You know.
Yeah.
Gone are the days of physical discs.
And they did like this whole Reddit AMA to kind of clarify everything and sort of deal with like the people that
Ew.
that are a little bit skeptical of the whole thing. And I don't think this really cleared any of the skepticism about Google Stadia, but we did get a little bit more clarity. So like they clarified like, yeah, this is not Netflix for games. This is more like Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus. But they also talked a bit about like some stuff that's going to be added a little bit later. So achievements aren't going to be available at launch. It's going to be something that they add later. The UI we're not going to see until November. Let's see. There was another thing. I don't see it here. I think they showed on the Ars Technica article. The family sharing will be available next year. Chromecast Ultra will be the only way to stream to a TV at launch, but then later they're going to add new ways to stream it to TVs. And then we already knew about this, but you could use like any sort of Bluetooth controller in order to be able to
DualShock
play.
And Xbox One controllers included.
Yep.
I mean, I can't really think of like a really common scenario where you would use Stadia.
There's not really a lot.
I'm in agreement with him. I couldn't think of a place to get it. Why would you get it?
Yeah, no, I don't really see much of a reason for it either. It's mostly a way for like people that don't have the money for like a console or like a high spec computer to be able to play all these higher end games. You still have to have like
a really good like internet
connection and everything. So, yeah, because it does require some strong internet to stream it, and that's already like a lot of money that. Yeah, no, I don't know. It doesn't seem strong, but they seem very adamant about this business model that they're going for, and they don't. There doesn't seem to be any what's the word? They don't seem to want to change their business model, and they're really adamant on this one. And let's see where it goes. It's probably not going to work out.
I don't think it's going to work out.
The only thing that seems kind of okay in this is that. It said that it supported other subscription models, right? Like you could, if you get like you play Plus on there, you can use that on Stadia. Wait, is that what I read?
No, it's like it.
Are you sure?
Wait, what do you mean?
So like you play Plus, where you can get the subscription model, where you can play the Uplay games. I thought I read that Google Stadia supports those subscription models.
It's possible. I don't think I
go to. I thought I saw it actually.
They did mention Uplay Plus on here.
Here, wait. Well,
yeah. So Stadia will support subscription plans like Uplay Plus, mainly stressing individual game purchases that players should expect to be competitive with other platforms price wise, according to Duranichev. After all, it's about developers making money off their amazing work they do. And while Duranichev said he certainly hopes to have a few free-to-play games to announce in the next few months, that area doesn't seem to be an immediate focus for Stadia at the moment. So I don't really fully get what they mean by this, though, that it'll support like the other subscriptions.
Well, it sounds like you can
open up your say PlayStation Plus and
your Uplay library and play it on Stadia or something.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Probably.
So that would be like the only really saving grace,
right?
Is that you could get to boot up your phone and play any of those games, because if you're buying them individually, it's like a total waste of money.
Yeah.
But, if you could just open up subscription, which would be more like if it was the Netflix of gaming, right?
Mm-hmm. Right, probably charge you like $15. That would be
a much better deal if it was the Netflix of gaming. If they give you a whole catalog of all these games and because
if you don't like it, you don't feel like you wasted it because you just had to play it rented. That was it.
Like imagine if they got the support of like the EA Game Pass and Ubisoft's thing and Microsoft. Right, and like combined it.
There
into
would
like
be a lot more games for you to play that you already owned on those services.
Yeah, or if they just sold that as a package deal, right? Like if you pay $25 or $30 a month, something a little bit more to combine them all for the Stadia, then it'd be like okay, you know, at least now I can play all these games on here. And
yeah.
But this is just you're paying full price for
a game
for a lot less.
And back the days of Blockbuster where you had the monthly rental if you wanted, and you could just get whatever game.
And sure, if you were to go with their subscription, the I think it was like $8.99 a month or something.
Yeah.
For Stadia Pro, sure you do get like a few free games every month, but that's only while you have the subscription. And like if you drop your subscription and then you get it back, those games that you got during those subscriptions you do still have, but all the games that they released for free in between, like they similar to how PlayStation Plus worked, all those games that they released in between when you didn't have the subscription, you don't have access to. So like that library, that free library that you're building up would be like really slow growing and stuff. If you had it for long enough, then sure you might have like a sort of a Netflix-ish library, but that is a lot of time.
That is a lot of time and a lot of games.
You are paying towards this subscription to have something like that. So
yeah, I just don't see it being like really usable for a lot of people. I mean, there's gonna be very specific scenarios where it's like, hey, I want to play whatever, like Metro in bed, I guess.
On my phone
and my Xbox controller, but I don't know, man.
Yep. And it's like this doesn't even really work for on the go either. Like let's say you brought like a cheap laptop or something with you, but you want to play games, but you still have to have that fast internet connection, right? So it doesn't work for an on the go thing.
You can't sit at Starbucks and play these games.
Exactly.
Laggy.
Yeah.
Plus, it makes sense that you couldn't download. Now I'm thinking about it because if you downloaded the game and your computer can't handle it, what's the point of downloading it?
Yeah, but the whole downloading thing is mostly like an I own this game sort of argument.
Okay, so you want it for let's say tangibility.
It's you want it to be a tangible thing. Let's say that I bought all these games that are on Stadia, and then in the future I end up getting like a higher end computer, and I want to be able to play that locally on my computer because my new computer can handle it, but you can't.
Okay, that's fair.
And then their services, they let's say their service goes down. Let's say they had Stadia, and then you bought all these games for Stadia, but then all of a sudden Google decides, oh, we don't want to do Stadia anymore. All of a sudden, all those games are gone. You don't have access to them anymore. You don't have them locally either. So that's the biggest problem with it.
And you get a lot less like what if wiggle room. Like if your internet goes down, no games. If Stadia goes down, no games. If you own the game, you can play the game offline. If you can't run the game, at least you have the option to like tweak it and stuff.
Right.
But if your internet isn't good enough, your internet's not good enough.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Like you can't tweak your internet to like
there's just too many gray areas with the service for it to really function.
It's unfortunate.
Let's see. Let's
move on to the last one.
Yep, this last one right here. I thought this was I just kind of thought this was like a little bit ridiculous. So Respawn, they have a firm stance on keyboard and mouse on console with Apex Legends, and they are firmly against it. And so they are now looking at ways to detect whether or not a person is using a keyboard and mouse to play on console. What do you guys think of this stance and their use of resources to stop keyboard and mouse on console?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't even know this was a problem or a thing until right now.
Recently, people have been starting to use keyboard and mouse because they're starting to release like new little devices that function better on consoles than like a regular keyboard and mouse, so that you can play these shooters on keyboard and mouse. And yes, keyboard and mouse is a better input option for shooters. It's more accurate and whatnot. If you have the option, like why not just hey, it's a better input option. Like why not do it? Like on on PC, people still play on controllers as well. They like that option. So why not just let people play on the input choice of that they like?
I think the whole thing is that because mouse and keyboard you're advantageous with it. Like
they want to remove that.
If you're sniping at something, I mean, you're going to do better with a mouse than you are with the controller, right?
Yeah.
But
right.
I think I'm sure it probably says on here.
What are you looking for?
Yeah. So like basically the idea is that if you plug in a mouse and keyboard, you should just be queued with people that are using that as well.
Right.
Or you get queued with like the PC players and stuff like that. Because if you mix and match, then I mean, it is an advantage.
Right.
No matter how you look at it, it's an advantage, right? So you just don't want that mix and match, because then if you're playing with, if Timmy goes out and buys a PS4 and everybody is playing with their keyboard and mouse and he's got his little DualShock controller,
He's gonna get his ass kicked.
Timmy sucks, right? There's nothing Timmy
Right,
can do.
he's not gonna wanna play
already
it anymore.
advantage, right?
Right.
So
That's a good way to look at it too.
I think they should just, because I'm pretty sure I was looking in the article here, like I think a couple of games like PUBG and stuff like that, if you plug in something, it queues you differently.
Right. Which I kind of get, but I don't think they actually like specifically said what they're going to be doing with those people that are.
That's what they should do. You just enter a different queue, and if they can queue with PC people, then that's what they should do. You know, it's just so that you're in the same playing field.
Yeah.
Because having an advantage it's not cheating, but it's close, right?
Yeah. And I do get that, but let's say, but what they're saying here is, so Reddit developer dropped a little reminder that if you're using mouse and keyboard whilst playing the free-to-play Battle Royale on console, they're investing in ways to detect if players are doing that. Our stance on this, in short, we don't condone it. So they're straight up saying that they don't want people playing on keyboard and mouse.
You shouldn't be condemned for doing it, because obviously it's just an option, like personal preference.
Why didn't they just take that option off? If they're so concerned about it.
But so they're not right in saying like. I mean, it depends on how you kind of read into this. Like, we don't condone it. They don't condone it because probably they don't want people to have advantages over other people. But at the same time, like, it sounds like they're like, if you're doing it, you're a bad person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, it sounds like that. Excuse me. They want to end it completely, and if they wanted to end it completely, I think that's a little bit ridiculous. I understand putting them into a different queue and stuff. Like, I think people should be able to play with the input option of choice.
Right.
Sure.
But here's the other thing. Like let's use fighting games for. I use fighting games as an example a lot because it is something that I'm knowledgeable in. Right.
Right.
Sure.
In fighting games, there are a lot of controllers that people use to play. Right.
Sure.
So with fighting games right now, you have regular controllers, you have fight sticks, and then recently we've been getting people that are using what's called a hitbox, which is an all button controller. Similar to like mouse and similar to using a keyboard, right? So instead of a lever and then a bunch of buttons, it is just all buttons. And people have been talking about hitbox as being a superior input method. You have a bit of an advantage because there are cleaner inputs and all that stuff. But it has not been banned in tournaments, and it's been around for a while. And it doesn't seem like tournaments are going to be banning it in at all. Right? They're just letting people use the input option of choice. And if there is a better input option, people have the option to just switch over to that better input option. You know what I mean? But like, they're not stopping people. Like, they're not saying like, oh, fight stick players can only play with fight sticks. Hitbox players can only play with hitbox players. Right. Mm-hmm. So there's also like that sort of argument of like kind of an evolution of how you play your games that developers can kind of lean towards as well.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There was another thing that I was like trying to go into, and I totally blanked on where I was going just now. But yeah, if they are trying to completely condemn it. Oh, there's also the argument. A few people that I saw that were a little bit concerned also is that if they have a way to detect keyboard and mouse, most likely it is just a way for them to detect something that is not a controller. Like, there's not really much way to know for sure if it's just a new controller or another controller, or like just like a straight up keyboard and mouse.
Right.
So people were concerned about like input options for disabled people, because there have been like that new wave of like controllers geared towards disabled people.
Sure.
So if it is not fully able to detect whether it's a keyboard or like just a different type of input, then like what happens to those people with those disabled controllers? Do they suddenly get matched with people that are on keyboard and mouse as well?
Yeah.
If they were to go that route, or would they just be banned if they ended up going with that route?
Sure.
So that was like kind of another concern that people were pointing out. But I don't know. They haven't really released too much more information other than like, oh, we're looking at ways to detect players using keyboard and mouse on console.
And I think they should. I mean, there is certainly a difference.
Yeah.
It's just, if you're using it, you shouldn't be punished for it. They should just have an alternate solution for it.
Yep. So that's about the extent of like the recent current events and stuff within the gaming space that we have right now. If you have any questions or topics for us to talk about, you can send them on over to heyweplaying@gmail.com. That's HEYWEREPLAYIN at gmail.com. at gmail.com. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Podbean, or any of your preferred podcasting services. Until then, catch you guys next time.
Catch bronchitis.
We're going to have probably a more interesting and engaging podcast.
And don't forget, everyone's going to die.
Yes.
I got some boner cam on there for you at the end there.
Your boner's going to die one day.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.